Preservation, please.
Here is a short history of affordable housing and the crisis here in San Francisco. Little context on that. Whether it's an Ellis Act eviction, a negotiated tenant buyout, which may lead to the TIC conversion of affordable housing, existing affordable housing, the loss of affordable housing in San Francisco impacts our diverse community, from teachers to seniors to our workforce, citizens of San Francisco. The loss of affordable housing limits the amount of options that folks have to stay here in San Francisco. It's okay. I don't think we're ready for that one yet. Okay. Losing rent control means that more people have to live farther away from their work, and longer commutes leads to a bigger impact on our environment.
Meta wants to reverse the displacement that is happening in San Francisco. We believe housing is a right. And in the Affordable Housing Toolbox, we contribute to building new construction. There's rent control in the city. But what we want to talk about is a preservation strategy called Small Sites Program, where we identify tenants in buildings, small buildings, come together wanting to be acquired by a nonprofit, for a nonprofit to purchase. So what makes small sites unique? We are balancing the rent burden in the building, where everyone pitches in what they can to preserve their building. And it differs from rent control in that way. There's also, we're trying to model after 100% affordable housing buildings. So rent control versus SSP rent control, there are lots of differences and similarities, but they're both aiming to preserve affordable rents in the city. So the SSP program, the first question is your building feasible? Is the purchase possible? There are many considerations. It's like a puzzle. We have to take into account the cost of construction, and we estimate that by inspecting the state of your building and units. We, as mentioned, we look at incomes. How much can be pitched in to make this preservation possible, this purchase? And finally, when the puzzle pieces fuse and fit together, tenants sign leases. And there's a lot of rules and regulations to follow. This is an investment by the city. And eventually, we're in this project and journey together to ensure operations of a quality of life building, a clean, safe environment. We need everyone's cooperation to achieve that.
And the name of the game, just to reiterate, is preservation. And we're looking to preserve long-standing communities, people who have lived in the same unit for 30 years, have created, and they're good standing citizens. They have established roots here, and at that point they're elderly. So to preserve our elderly folks from being displaced and dealing with the hardships of looking for a new place to live and a new community to thrive in. And then we're also trying to preserve our city and our culture, and the diversity. We don't want it all to leave the city and only be one flavor. And that's what made San Francisco so appealing to so many. We don't want our rental maps to look just market rate. We want the people that work at the restaurant next to this $4,000 apartment to still be able to live within the community that they serve and be knowledgeable of the community that they serve. The person that works at the valet next to this $3,000 one-bedroom apartment. We want them to be able to find an opportunity to live close to where they work and the community that they serve, and keep this equitable. We want families, teachers, and elderly and artists to be able to stay in the city that is contributing to their livelihood and their quality of life. The end.